Well, welcome to our very, very cozy and homey stage setup. How do you like it? How do you like your bed?
It's not bad, you know. It's nicer than the room, actually. No, I'm just joking.
We will wake you up, don't worry.
All right, amazing. Can I hear a little bit from each of you, a little bit about yourself and what you bring to the space, starting with Anita?
Thank you. As you mentioned, I'm known as the crypto granny, and that comes down to that I am an actual granny double at the moment, but when crypto granny name was given to me, it was 2018, and my first granddaughter was about to be born, and interacting a lot in the space, living in Malta at the time, going back home to Finland and collaborating with the local Bitcoin and blockchain people and the regulators and officials there. The youngsters came up with this name, thinking that it was quite cool, especially then that an elder female person that has no tech background whatsoever was so excited and delighted about this new technology, and that's how Crypto Granny was born. I'm challenging all of you guys with my all-time best ever question, why? And I keep asking that as long as the, not stupid, but the one who doesn't really understand anything gets an answer coming from you guys. So usually when I enter the room, everyone else leaves.
And that's one of the reasons I thought it would be amazing to hear from you at the beginning in this session about the blockchain. But before we get into this, can I hear a little bit from you, please?
My name is Pekka Kelkka, originally from Finland, like Crypto Granny is also, and the best artist ever, Vesa, and his lovely wife, Lotta. So we can also speak Finnish tonight if you want, probably not. I started my full-time online career at 2016. I'm an advisor. Now I'm advising 3 Web3 projects, 1 play to earn, 1 metaverse, and 1 media. They also have an NFT coming up. Also the 4th project that I'm advising is centralized exchange. So I'm a speaker, always speaking too much. Anita always stops me, which is good now, it's next to me here. So really looking forward to this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, Austin.
Yes.
Talk to us about your role with Abu Crypto.
My name's Austin Tobin, core developer of Abu Crypto. Guess a cryptocurrency aficionado since 2015. Started mining Ethereum, Bitcoin, started doing technical analysis, started, portfolio management. And then they said, hey, can you make an NFT? I know a guy. I was the guy. Here we are today. So that's it.
You stumbled upon it.
Yeah,
really. All right. Anita, one of the things that we discussed on our conversation is that you wanted things to be simple. It has to make sense. So I'd love to hear from you. What is blockchain in simple terms, please?
Well, that's the thing. As I mentioned, I have no tech background whatsoever. And 2018 and 19, when I lived in Malta, all the hype was there, and all of you guys were there at the time. Now they have come to Dubai. But it was really, really difficult for me to understand what does this mean. And I was thinking, I had some hard time today actually coming up with what to say right now to this question, because, and then I came up with something that I heard quite recently from someone who is not familiar with the space. Where is it? Where is blockchain? Where can I find it? Where should I go? And there I realized again that we have the impression that, everyone is involved. It's less than 2% of the population of the globe. So no, we are not involved as yet. So we need to find the answer. But I would say that it comes down to kind of a, data that is in the internet. So it's in everyone's computer. Fine words are these ledgers and this and that, but it's kind of a bookkeeping that is kept of every transaction. Everything happens, or what I do online in this internet. And then it's the bookkeeping is kept in several copies in many servers or nodes or computers, however we want to call them. So basically what it means is that human interference is not that big, or the possibility for us humans to get involved with that data is not that big, but rather the technology itself secures the information, makes it transparent so you can trace back. It's immutable, you cannot change it, and if you do change something, you can trace back even that. But I think we still kind of keep forgetting that the really, really basic starts from that we forget to tell that it's in the internet as yet, so, and related to data and how we are allowing, and that's what made me so excited about blockchain, cryptos, and all of this, that give the technology the chance. Technology will give us the trust we so deeply want and miss. So I'm a big believer into technology and code and developers. I admire you so much. I don't understand anything, but still I love it.
That's okay.
So yes, kind of a bookkeeping in a digital form in all these computers out there, and many, more than 51% will need to approve that this information is correct so it stays there. And something like that to start with.
That's a very, very good start. Now, why is this important? All of this, why is blockchain something that we should care about?
First of all, I mentioned already that I started my online career in '94 when the first commercial browser. Anybody who do you remember what was the first commercial internet browser? Do you got Netscape? Yes, I started my first online company same year. Internet was supposed to be pretty much the same that what blockchain is offering us today, like free communication and you can do whatever your own stuff in the internet. But then some very clever guys understood that hey, we can make excellent business by stealing the user's data, stealing our identity. And that was the changing point of everything when it comes to internet. The amount of data is growing like rapidly, every day, every second actually. And the internet is everywhere, but it's controlled by a few guys only in the world. We know who they are. Zach is there and a couple other guys are there. They own our data. Blockchain will change everything because of, as Anita explained, decentralized data model, which means that there's no central entity. And even worse today is that these big IT giants that are running the show on internet, actually they know more about us than we do. For example, they know what we're going to buy next time, where we're going to go next time. And for example, Amazon is doing sometimes this crazy process. If you are searching something online, and you need to understand one thing. You don't need to be on these centralized platforms. It needs that some of your network is doing something in there. So they collect the big data and connecting the dots. They know that, okay, you are buying this camera. And even you're making the purchase decision, they start to deliver. Because the percentage is so big that they will hit right information. Think of this, they know more about us than we do. And blockchain will change everything because we get our identity back. Our data is owned by us. And that's the biggest change. It goes everywhere. And now very important thing is that first of all, I want to congratulate all of you to be here today because we are the early adapters of this technology. But it's growing now today 10 times faster than internet did on the same development phase. One of my most liked or hated, depending with whom I'm talking to, messages is that blockchain and cryptos will be 100 times bigger and more meaningful than internet is. Technology is one thing, but definitely for us as a society, it will democratize the data. It will democratize the society. It will democratize the financial systems, monetary systems, everything. That is why this is so important.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. All right. Austin.
Yes.
How do we interact with blockchain?
I think on the basic level, the best way to interact with blockchain is, go out and get a wallet and start trading some tokens. Make a payment in some tokens, get involved, get yourself some Bitcoin. Maybe take a higher risk and get an NFT. I don't know. You could even step into getting a blockchain-based credit card or something of that nature. Start at the very basic level of this peer-to-peer payment system. I think it's revolutionary, just as you guys have said.
When we talk about peer-to-peer, because that's really interesting,
Yeah.
can we elaborate a little bit on that?
Peer-to-peer in what direction?
Towards crypto. Now, we're saying we should start with something small.
Yeah, so opening up a MetaMask wallet is a decentralized peer-to-peer payment system. It's completely outside third-party manipulation. So we can transfer funds from one to another without any government holding or fees or anything of that nature. So what most people don't realize is that core ability is going to, disrupt the entire world. So, yeah.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Now, for blockchain to start becoming something of normal, we need a lot more people to start using it. Now, how do we create a safer place, a safer environment for people to start using blockchain and crypto?
A very good question. I get headache over again. No, but truthfully, to me, it comes down to, and like I said, what Crypto Granny does, I really do challenge the actors in this space. And one of the things that is so important in these conversations is also to remember us non-native English speakers. So now, I've been active in the space since 2016, you could say. So I get all the wordings, I understand what has been said, but I still sometimes now when we are moving towards NFTs and metaverse and all of that, I still have a bit hard time like really deep down in my soul understanding all these words I hear and what do they actually mean. So one of the things that I see very, very important is to remember to speak in such a simple way that all the newbies, newcomers really understand what we are talking about. And what I always tell to people that, please give the technology a chance. Whatever you knew from before, or whatever, beliefs or headlines or talks you've heard that, it's for terrorists only, or it's money laundering only, or this is that, be objective. Listen to all the way right, all the way left, and everything in between. Do your homework. That's what it comes down to. Don't believe anyone as such. Do your own homework. Go someone you trust. Make all the questions. And then define for yourself, will you want to be part of this or not? Because that's the decision you need to make. Then if you decide that, okay, I want to be part of this revolution, which I actually do call it because it's so changing, all the basics that we oldies especially know and take for granted, you need to make the decision whether you want to be part of this or not. And then if your decision is to be part of that, then you for sure find the sources, the places, the people to network with, to ask the questions from, but don't accept answer you don't understand. I remember in Malta there was a few of these really big names of the space, and I could see the desperation in their eyes when I just kept asking, yeah, but why? Why do we need this? Why do you want that? Why are you raising that much money? Because I didn't understand what they answered to me. So I just kept asking, and then finally I got the answer I could understand. And yeah, my decision was to join the revolution, and I'm so happy to be here, and thanks again for the invitation, Abu Crypto.
We're so happy to have you here, and I love that. Get to it. Explain what it means. Don't just use some terms and assume that it's understood. Yeah. So, opportunities. What can we expect from blockchain this year and in the near future?
Can I start a little bit differently, if you don't mind?
Sure, go ahead.
First of all, Anita and myself, we're doing these things, education and training sessions a lot. Yesterday we had one project coming here from a different Asian country, and they brought some investors and people who were interested in this with them. And I started to explain them about this, what does Rustas wanted me to answer, like metaverse and NFT and play-to-earn games. I talked 2 minutes and looked at their faces, and I saw the emptiness. Not a single word they understood what I said. Then the question that I know that you guys, maybe all of you guys own some NFTs already and are very familiar with their digital wallets like MetaMask, like Austin said. But we started very basic things. We started that, okay, do you own any crypto? None owns. Do you know what is NFT? No hands raised. And you started from there. And that's something that it's always really challenging for us, who've been in the scene so many years already. Like this very strange 4-letter, 3-letter combinations meaning something, like NFT, for example. And way I explain NFT is that you have this $1 bill, and then you have the other dollar bill, and you have 1,000 of them, million of them, millions of them, trillions of them. They're all the same. But for example, when it comes to non-fungible, the good physical example is La Mona Lisa in Louvre Museum. That's one unique piece of this art. There can be hundreds of millions of copies of them, but there's only one that is signed by Leonardo da Vinci, the original one. The same system goes on digital world. When you sign your NFT, the ownership of this digital asset, you sign it on blockchain with your digital signature. If you continue from there a little bit further, you understand the opportunities, because first time in the history of mankind, with an NFT, you can own something that is online. Before that, everything you published online. My son is movie producer and the director, and they do some also music. And so many of their content have been stolen, misused. And they're so into NFTs now. Because now you can clearly show it with your digital signature that this particular unit, NFT, non-fungible asset, is owned by me because I have the digital signature of it. But what is digital signature actually? It's related to this wallet thing. You have this on your wallet. It's not that you sign some paper or something. It is a digital signature. It behaves differently. You need to understand that it exists on the wallet, and how you can access to it, you need to have this wallet. But these basic things need to be understood first. What's happening next and soon? Maybe tomorrow already. We don't know. You know what? Have you heard about the company called Meta? Yeah, it's a pretty big company, right? Yeah, most of you guys know that Facebook just changed their name into Meta, not just recently. And think of this, the guy who owns the biggest retail brand in the world, the most well-known brand in the world, he decides to throw that to garbage. Facebook to the garbage, the name, and change the name into Meta. Why? He understands the business, he has the biggest, the best advisors around him. They believe that this is the future of online business. Then all the big other guys like Adidas and Nike and these female clothing brands, I don't even know them, but I've been told, they're coming also now into metaverse. But do understand this. When we're talking about Zuckerberg's Meta, it has nothing to do with metaverse, with the decentralized metaverse. It's still owned by Zuck and his guys, his friends and family. I hope that you want to research that much, that you understand that there are some crazy things going on. If, for example, if Facebook managed to pull through Meta in the numbers that they're trying to do, that's even worse for us than Facebook. Then they can do whatever they want with our avatars and our digital identity. But please, try to find good decentralized metaverse platforms, because there are many of them. Also, each and every technology, when they have a breakthrough, there's always a solution or product or service that is leading the show, the spearhead product. On Web 1, when we had static web pages, it was email. Then we have still social media. We have social media today. And Anita, you had something to say to me? He's kicking my ankle, by the way. Yeah, I will stop soon. You know, when I start to speak, I just cannot stop. Well, social media is in Web 2, and we live in Web 2 now. That's the spearhead leading solution and product. And on Web 3, it will be play to earn. That's my prediction, but not just mine, but much clever guys than I are saying the same. Just 2 weeks ago, Exchanger published a research where they said and claimed that today there are 2.7 billion, the number is 2.7 billion active video gamers in the world. 2.7 billion. And these guys now, when they play these video games, online games, they are paying when they play. Play to earn, as it says. You will earn tokens, you will earn money. That's a huge, huge opportunity for everybody. And a couple of great success stories, like laboratory size now, like for example, Philippines, there is one particular game which is called Axie Infinity, and people are not even working anymore because they play that full time and making 10 times more money than they make on their daily job. So it's coming now. So Web3 is the future. Decentralization is the future. Zuckerberg's Meta is not the future.
Truth. I want to stop you for time, but no, I've really, really enjoyed listening to this. I could not stop you, actually. So, blockchain, peer-to-peer.
Peer-to-peer.
What does that empower us to do?
It empowers us to basically, we have this decentralized peer-to-peer payment system. So what can artists do with that, let's say? So here you are, as an artist, you try and generate money for yourself. It can be difficult, maybe you have to go to someone to loan it. But the community driven behind the peer-to-peer system, through NFTs, let's say, you can fund your entire project through real natural people that just want to put money into what you're doing. So the action of that is, it's only around this space. The communities around this space are empowering. The payment system is empowering. Digital ownership, or to be able to trade goods to and from, is empowering. And in the last 2 years, we experienced extreme levels of censorship from governments, entities, corporations, Meta. So, as this lovely woman here said, it's immutable. Everything you artists put on this blockchain can never be censored, and that is empowering.
Absolutely. And I'm going to get some questions from the audience in a second, but one last thing that we discussed, we were talking about music and how with platforms, sales are plummeting. And
yes. So arguably over the last 20 years, music has been devalued through streaming services that basically let you only listen or buy one song. People don't buy albums anymore, so artists are losing their funding. So this is a way in which you can gain back the utility of ownership, the royalties of your music or your media, your videos that you put online. You're re-empowering yourself as an artist to condition or sell those however you choose and get more for yourself and less for, I don't know, who are the guys in the middle? MGM Grand or, yeah.
We're not going to talk about them. All right. Blockchain questions. Yes, in the back.
About blockchain. It is the future, and this way you can avoid dealing directly with banks, and this way you have control more over your money. Is that what you're trying to say? So my question, a lot of people lost money with these transactions without the power or the ability to get them back. So, and there's no records or anything make it related back to you that you own this money, you just lost it. So there is some parts that it's not safe. So can you tell me more about this about this.
Yeah.
I'm very brief. I'm very brief now. You're right, because it is, when the data is on blockchain, it's there immutable, as Anita said already. And on definitely these value transactions, on the cryptocurrency transactions, you need to do what you do. You need to know what you do. So, for example, most of these cases, they try to transfer a particular currency on a wrong blockchain platform, which means that it's gone forever. But I have very good news for you, because it's getting easier. It's the same thing that internet development was. It was really, you couldn't use it in the late 90s. Like, I was there already right after Second World War. But now, blockchain is getting the same way, and interoperability is the thing. So less and less you need to be worried about these things. Then there are also solutions that maybe you should consider if you are trying to get some cryptos for yourself. I'm talking too much again. If you try to get some cryptos for yourself, check and study and research and talk to people. There are some good platforms. They are centralized platforms, but the procedures are there, and then it's much, much more safer for you in that sense that you don't lose your money. But when you learn enough of these procedures, please position yourself holding, as we call it, hodling your own cryptocurrencies, because we don't know what's going to happen in the world nowadays.
Quick comment. You need to know, I'm with Pekka, you need to know what you're dealing with, like in everything. If you go to the ATM with your bank card and you don't know how to interact there, you probably use your card. If you lose your card, you need to know where to go and ask to get it back. So this is a bit similar thing. So, and when it comes to the revolution I mentioned, this is part of it. If we want to be free, independent, not followed up by someone or not anyone telling us what to do, if we want to get rid of the middlemen, then we also need to take the responsibility of that, which in my world includes that I need to learn what I'm interacting with, and I need to know how to act, because in the end of the day, it is kind of as simple as Pekka said. When you know what you need to do, where you save your private key and your secret words and whatever, you know how to be part of this. But it doesn't come automatically, so you need to do the homework to be safe. But it's possible, and then the service providers obviously are there, but then again you would need to trust someone, and I don't want to do that, so I want to trust myself. Good question though.
Yeah, so 2 things. Do your research, remember your things, and it will get easier. It is at the very, very start, and it's going to take some time for things to be easier. Just like when we wanted to exchange money and send money across back in the day, when emails, everything, it takes a little bit of time for things to get figured out and become easier to use. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you so much for being here, guys. I was doing my research actually, and I knew somehow that the processing is being done in kind of computers outside. So one guy in YouTube, I don't know his name, he's Darcy, he was telling us that it's not gonna be a clean end because of the number of energy that this kind of process needs. So what's your input about that? This is my first part of the question. Second, what will happen to the banks? That's it. Thank you.
Austin, do you want to take this one?
Sure. In regards to the energy, originally proof of work concept was done through mining, which is a high consumption of energy, and that was the only way to verify transactions on a blockchain. Now, as technology has evolved, we're moving to proof of stake, which is using computer programs and nodes. So people will stake a large amount of the coin, which will help verify the transactions on the network, bringing the cost down to very little or much less. So improvements are happening. The carbon footprint is already coming down, and it is getting better. What was the second part of her question?
What happens to the banks?
What happens to the banks?
Only good thing.
That's a tough one. It's
we,
hard.
we can't say we don't know.
Yeah,
There is a lot of things that we still don't know about the space, but if you have one,
Can I
please
again?
go ahead.
Sorry, me again. Sorry, guys. Adding one thing about this energy consumption. In EU, they made a law, like very fast law. They pull it through that only green energy can be used on Bitcoin and proof of work mining. So they cannot use any like dirty energy in that sense. It's renewable only, and that's great decision. And nothing changed. They were even mining more because everybody was using already renewable energy. That's, sorry to say, the whole energy thing when it comes to this proof of work, producing this coin, using the power, electricity, it is not how the mainstream media is saying it. It's very, very good already today.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. I have two questions. The first one would be, what resources could you point out that people can go to learn more about, the blockchain, coins to invest in? I know right now there's so many coins that are coming up, but perhaps you could tell us the ones that you're invested in as well. And then the second one would be, coming from Africa, Uganda particularly, what are your thoughts about the adoption of blockchain? Because speaking from my standpoint, Uganda is mainly a cash economy. People prefer to hold cash rather than digital. And even the adoption rate of the credit cards or ATM cards is still really, really low. So what is your take on, may I say, third world countries towards the blockchain? Thank you.
Well, I unfortunately have not had the opportunity to visit Africa a lot. I've been there a couple of times. But what I have understood is that you guys, like all through Africa, more or less, everyone has a mobile phone and a phone in most of the cases. And now when we are talking about cryptocurrencies, we are talking of digital assets. So you are already halfway there. So I do believe that very soon this will be something that Africa will take lead on as starting to use these digital assets, whatever cryptocurrency that might be, or cryptocurrencies probably, due to that you are used to using the mobile phone as a interaction and payment device, let's put it that way. Then again, for the cryptocurrencies, well, they are so many. 15,000 at the moment is probably the number. On that, the only thing I, as a granny, because when we were born, Pekka and myself, we were still, interacting with the smoke signs. So we've come far away. But I don't believe, actually, that we as human beings will find consensus in coming down and agreeing on one crypto to be used. So I do believe that in the future there will be several. Which ones? Maybe none of them exist as yet. We don't know. So that's how I see or my answer to your questions.